Let me let Kate, what a beautiful name that is. Okay, cool. I don't want to watch the Facebook thing though. I just want to watch you guys. All righty. I hate when that goes in the background. Give me a second. Done. Okay. All righty. Well, welcome. Let me go ahead and we are recording. Do I have any feedback? No, I'm good. Okay, well, welcome. My name is Lynnae, and what's really cool about this, there's a lot of reasons this call is cool today, because it's something I haven't done this way. And I've been, asking the universe, pulling in people who want to know a little bit more about what it is and what I do. And we have like 16 new people on the call today. So how does it get any better than that? So do you guys have feedback or is it just on my side? Little bit of feedback. Okay, well, let's play with it and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to put me as a speaker for right now. Give me a heads up if it continues to get worse. Okay. So before I get started with this awesome call that Karen up here in the corner has volunteered to do a live coaching facilitation session with me. Some of you have worked with me, so it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Some of you have worked with me in groups, and that's kind of how we do it. But quick about me. Let's see. I have been in transformational energy work for about 32 years. So I have done a lot of uncover, discover, discard about myself. I have been self-employed my entire life. So if you have ever been on that journey before, the only paycheck I've ever gotten is the one that I've worked for. So how fun is that? And anything and everything that brings up for everybody. Let's see. So I was in Mary Kay, a network marketing company for over 20 years. And so recruiting to me is something that I understand. I know how to do. I know how to teach tons of people to do that. And I had never thought about doing like a call on that to show people how it can be, how you can clear the places that you're stuck in on recruiting. And most of the places, if you've been in business for a while, you're bringing energy work, you're bringing up all of your reference points, all the baggage, I just call it baggage with you, and trying to build and add to your team from all the places you did before. And working with a lot of networking marketing clients, they carry a lot of baggage because they've done so much that didn't work, did work, didn't work, points of view. And if you've been with, if you're with a company in network marketing that has a huge history on it, I mean, Mary Kay has 60 years. So there's 60 years of points of view on how to recruit. And that right there is kind of debilitating. So, oh, look, someone noticed something? Look, I have two different earrings on. So how does it get any better than that? So hello, Raymond, who doesn't have to worry about that. So why don't we vote today on which one we like the best? That's funny. One of my abilities is to be able to do 5 million things at one time. That's called distraction. And then you show up and you go, oh, cool. So that could be a little golden nugget for today, is if you're waiting to do whatever it is and you're waiting for it to be the perfect time, you guys all know that there is no such thing. There isn't. And so right now, this is an example, you know, Crystal, my coach, has said, do it wrong, do it badly, do it anyway. And in the last really 4 years of really using the access tools along with all of my other stuff, I just suit up and I show up, and I just suit up, show up, and see what happens. And years in business, that was not the way I functioned. I functioned in a tremendous amount of effort, struggle, and almost to the point where it was debilitating and just crushing on my body. So anyway, so what else do I want to tell you a little bit about myself? I think that's probably going to be in it. I mean, How many of you are familiar with access consciousness and the access consciousness clearing statement? Okay, cool beans. I put a video, theclearingstatement.com you can go to, because I am going to use this energy clearing statement. And it's weird. It's weird, but man, it's one of the most powerful modalities that I've used in the last 32 years to work with energy. I'm a graduate of the Berkeley Psychic Institute, past Reiki master 30 years ago when no one was talking about Reiki, bars facilitator, and then self-employed. So I've been all around, but I love the simplicity of these access tools. So it adds into some of the work that I'm doing. So I think that's gonna be it for me right now. And then we're going to get started. At the end, I'll mention this. If we're open, you can ask any questions if you stay with me. If you are fiddling in the background, so cool, but just go ahead and take your screen off or black yourself out if you do, just so that you're present with her session. And one of the ways that Karen works with me, there's many, many ways to work with me, but she does 2 30-minute clearing sessions a month with me. That's it. She's worked with me for a while, and she's also part of my monthly membership. It's called The Phenomenal Woman, where we go 5 days a week and we clear for about 15 minutes every morning. So she shows up, and you'll see how that works. She's going to bring whatever it is that she's looking at. And the last few sessions we've had together, we've laughed because, like, in 13 minutes, she has cleared everything that was on her list and has all this new space and awareness. And the call's 30 minutes. And we're like, it was only 13 minutes. Now, not everybody moves that fast. But we do now because, and Brooke works with me too, that you kind of get the flow. So when we were talking last week, she was just getting to the place in her business where I think she had said enough of, what am I doing wrong with recruiting? Why is no one recruiting? It's something we've kept looking at over and over again. But with energy, everything we're doing is going below the words, below what's underneath that. So sometimes it takes a while to clear everything that's kind of on top of that. So we always say, underneath the pile of crap is the pony called you, which is all the energy and the points of view, opinions, and your business and your leadership and your all of that on there. And what we're looking for is to ask questions of, like, what is it going to, what is it that's available to you to create from? So with that, let me see if I can put this little girl, just me and Karen. How do I put the two of us like that? Speaker. There we go. Okay. So let's do this really quick. Everybody has an expectation of what they're going to get from this call, get or not get. Would you go ahead, and the clearing statement is just like, you just agree, like you're willing to let that go. But anytime we have an expectation or a projection of something, the only thing that we'll do is reject it, separate from ourselves, and then go into judgment of ourselves. So I love to come into any session or anything to watch your expectations. And Karen, hi girl.
Hello.
It's just you and me. So because I'm revved up a little bit, wearing the wrong earrings, and how does it get any better than that? And I had mouth surgery, so I talk funky. So just probably doesn't bother any of you, but that's just what's going on in this mouth. So do me a favor, Karen, hi, put your feet on the floor with me so that we can just kind of say hello to us. You guys can all play along. Feet on the floor, butt in your chair. Hello, body. And everywhere that you have been, let me mute her, this weekend, would you go ahead and pull yourself into yourself right now and say, hello, body, present time. Try and create everything you are with yourself, with your business, with your money, with your relationship, with your good ideas, and even access consciousness. Karen, would you please do that? Right, wrong, good, bad. All 9 shorts, boys, POBADs and beyond. Present moment. All righty. So, okay. Karen, now I would love to have you as the main speaker, but go ahead and start talking. You disappeared off of my screen for somewhere.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
okay.
Okay, girl. So what would you like to get from the call today? What's going on in your world?
Well, what I would really like to demonstrate is the difference in before and after. Before
Okay.
I had all these blocks, and
Okay.
after we started clearing them, before we even finished going through my entire list of reasons why I couldn't recruit, it just popped.
Okay. Well, let's do this for right now. Do you have your list in front of you like you normally do?
Of course.
Okay. So let's go for it. And so here's the thing, ladies, if you haven't done energy work or cleared, I don't know, you're all different places and so forth, is the cool thing about energy is that as I'm clearing, she's clearing, I'm reading the energy with her. Is you guys are all, it's a community thing. We're all clearing together. So that's the awesomeness of that. So, okay, girl, what's up?
Well, my reasons for not being able to recruit and build my business were I don't have time to help them. I don't want to push them too far. I don't want them to feel obligated. They might not work like I do and stay focused. I don't know how to make them get customers. They don't want to do it anyway, so why should I even ask them?
Okay. Cool. So all of that joyous, yummy stuff. So you go ahead and just put in a big ball in front of you. And would you destroy and uncreate all of those points of view limitations you have, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, POBADs and beyonds. I'm going to read them to you like we normally do. So you have a point of view that you can't recruit because you don't have time to help them. Truth, do you not have time to help them? Yes or no?
I do have time to help them.
All righty. So everywhere that you bought into that lie, POC and pod that, please. What's your point of view about pushing them too far? What is that?
Pressuring them to become a consultant, pressuring them to work harder to get more customers, to grow their business.
Okay, so
instead of just letting them be them and do their business however they choose to do it.
So tell me what push means for you. What does that mean? What's that energy that you're afraid that you're going to do? I know that you just mentioned some stuff, but what is the push thing? Tell me what that looks like, that you're not afraid, that you're afraid to do.
Bugging, asking, getting, texting, calling, questioning.
Okay, so would you destroy and uncreate all of that mess? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC, all 9 shorts, boys, POBADs and beyonds. Is it required that you ask people though?
Yes.
So what does it look like to ask somebody? Is that energy heavy or light? To ask somebody?
It's heavy.
It's heavy. Okay. Is there another word you could use versus ask?
Inquire.
Heavy or light?
A little lighter.
A little lighter. So when you are looking at your business and wanting to grow it, what else can you do with these people? And what's another word besides push them, ask them? I don't even know what the other word was because that was a really weird word.
Inquire.
Inquire. What other thing could you do? What's another light thing that you can do? And B, what energy, space, and consciousness can you be to share your business
Just
with each joy and glory?
let them know that I'm there for them.
Okay, that's cool.
Not ask, not inquire, not request. Just
Invite.
invite is really good. Very,
Okay.
very light.
Okay. And I just know this from so many years in business, we do get stuck on particular words, and words are everything because words have an energy on them. So if you think of the word recruit and how many people use that word now in Greek, it means to add, forget what it means. It means to add new life and stuff, but we don't speak Greek. We speak this messy, energetic unconsciousness. So when we're saying recruiting, how many points of view are you dragging with you? A little bit, a lot, or a megaton?
A lot.
Okay. So when we don't recruit, it's because it's so heavy, because who the hell wants to recruit? What does that even mean? I mean, we used to say the best of the best. I mean, it's been around a long time. So we had all these things that we would say. So what would it be like to be the energy of just now to invite people to what it is that you do? Okay. Just a different word, just a different for everybody. Everything that we're doing, inviting is an energy that we can be. It's like, I'm like all of you, I just invited you. Okay. I do not have an expectation. I do not have a projection of what's going to come from it. Okay. So
expectation is a very heavy word.
Expectation. Right. And it wipes us out every single time. And I know you've done a ton of work with me in that area of not having expectations. So when it comes to recruiting, Karen, what if you were like the worst recruiter ever? What would that be like? Like if you just fucked it up in every area, what does that create in your world? Like you just didn't do any of it right, but you invited people.
That's heavy. That's
Which part?
that I didn't do it right. Then it goes into judgment.
Okay. So where you're judging yourself. So how much fun do you have sharing your opportunity of your business? A little bit, a lot, megaton? How much fun is there in that?
Now it's a lot of fun.
Okay. But prior to
us clearing even a portion of it, I hated it.
Okay.
I didn't feel comfortable with recruiting. I didn't feel comfortable with sharing. I had all these negative points of view that it's never going to work. So why even bother?
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. And that is different today?
Absolutely.
We actually, after our last call, you had somebody that was ready to sign up immediately, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which, that's how energy works. It's that
Right.
it is the action that's required, but it's destroying and uncreating all that crap that you had on top of that. And basically there was no energy of receiving and joy with that. So what else on your list? Why don't you like, I'm going to keep using the word recruit because we have cleared it just for that purpose right now. So anybody who is recruiting for the team, would you destroy and uncreate all the energy of what recruit is and recruit isn't? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyond. It's kind of like clearing the word of what success is and success isn't, because it changes so much and we get so stuck. This is what it looks like. Okay, going down your list. Don't work. Give me your third one, your fourth, and your fifth.
I don't have time to help them. Okay, they won't work as much as I do. They
Okay.
won't stay focused.
So that one, they won't work it. Say it again.
They won't work as much as I do. They won't stay focused.
Okay, so I'm just laughing because what do I want to say about that? You are not, isn't that funny? So all everywhere that you are everywhere when we add people, we are now somehow decided we own them. And they will not do it the way we do it, because we've decided the way that we do it is the right way and the only way.
Exactly.
We can now destroy and uncreate that, please, times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. What if they don't do it the way you do?
So what?
Okay, what if the way they do it creates bigger than you could imagine, which is what leadership is about, is inviting people into your space and being that space of you, which allows them not to be the space for them. I learned that a long time ago. I don't want to be the space for anybody. I can barely handle my own space, but I'll be my space. I'll show up as me. And then that person could create bigger than I could even imagine. That's the ultimate place of like awesome leadership, when you're watching your people expand beyond you. That was one of my favorite things to do. So what if they don't work like you? And what if they don't work at all?
Right.
Okay, cool. So everywhere. So again, right there, everywhere that you had a point of view that if you added people to your team and they didn't do that, then there was something wrong with you.
Right.
You destroy and uncreate, return to sender. Has nothing to do with you. Right and wrong, good and bad, shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. Now with Karen, I know that she knows the system that's required within your company. We still need that system, like this is how they come in, this is how we walk them through. But everywhere that we have gotten stuck, there's this thing called form, structure, and significance. It's what killed me in my business with Mary Kay. It actually killed my body. Like, I was so contracted, right? Because I had all these ways that it freaking had to be. And maybe that was the way it works. So anywhere that you have a business and it has been working with form, structure, significance, and all of that, would you be willing to just let that go for you and for them, so that you can freaking breathe and everybody can create and be that energy? Okay, that I do see with the people I do business with. It's like a chokehold of control. So destroy and uncreate everywhere that you're chokeholding everybody and yourself, because it's just full of so much judgment. Right and wrong, good, bad, POC, online shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. Okay, gosh, we've probably almost cleared most of the stuff you have on here. What's the other two things you said that you don't? Would you please repeat the sentence of how you started it? I don't want to recruit. Something.
I can't recruit.
I can't recruit.
Because
Truth, is that a lie? Yes or no?
that's a lie.
Okay, truth. Here's a big thing. Truth. Do you want to add people to your team? Yes or no?
I do want to add people to my team, and I do want to invite them and not recruit them.
Okay.
It's a lot lighter.
It's a lot lighter. When I started working with you, I'll backtrack, that we may say we want to add people or build our teams or build our business. We're saying that, but we are absolutely not willing to do it. So that's the words. That was one of the reasons I left that, went into facilitating, was because we were saying this, but our energy was down here and it was never going to match until we started clearing. Because, and when I think I started working with you, there was a lot of talking about it. Nothing was happening, but it was because there was actually not even a willingness to actually recruit and add, because of all your point. Okay.
Right.
So yay on that. Okay. So you actually do have a desire to add people to your team. Yes or no?
Yes. I didn't.
No. Okay.
When
I'm just
we
looking at
started, no, I did not. I said I did,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't know why I couldn't. I just knew I couldn't because they don't want to do it. They won't focus and work like I do. I don't want to push them too hard. I don't know how to help them get customers.
Ah,
I mean, all of these things, and
Okay.
that's not even
So
reality.
everywhere that you decided help them, have I shared with you with what the word help means energetically?
No,
Okay. So there is a place that when you onboard people and you bring people on, it does have to be done a certain way within your company. That's not what I'm talking about. That has to be done the right way, according to the way to get them into a system for a company. But help, when you say the word help, is it, I don't know why I'm laughing today. Is it heavy or light?
it's heavy.
It's heavy. So why in the hell would you do this is so fun. Why would you, if something that's heavy, why would you actually want to do it?
Well, in the beginning, all of that was heavy, so I just wanted to keep it in uniform. Everything has to
Exactly.
be heavy and not, I can't get out of it. I can't see the light from the trees.
Right. Okay, cool. So if anybody is building their business and you're doing it because you want to help people, I want you just to look at the energy of that. Helping is ego, by the way.
We've talked
I
about
have 30 years and 12-step programs in recovery. And I learned that a long time ago that I really don't want to help anybody. I want to be, again, the energy that I truly be, supply them with the things that are needed. But if I'm going to think I'm actually going to be that I'm helping someone, that means I know something better than them. I'm better than them, and so forth. Okay. So I do hear me that you do know more when you're adding people because you have the experience, strength, and hope. But if you're going into recruiting energetically to help somebody, if it's heavy, chances are you're probably not going to add them because unconsciously your life is full and you're like, oh my God, I got to help somebody else. So anywhere that everybody wants to help somebody in their business, and you aren't really actually aware of what that word is destroying in your world versus creating, would you now destroy and uncreate that energy around that word help? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, probes, and beyond. I hear the word empower. Sometimes I like that word. I'm here to empower people. I'm here to facilitate change in people's worlds. That's what I do today. So I got a little bit clearer on that lightness. So when you're recruiting, are you facilitating change in people's worlds? So find something that is light. So help. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. So do you want to help them, or what else would you like to do with them, Karen?
Invite them, facilitate them to change.
Okay. And what's Mary Kay's slogan?
Which one?
The only one.
Oh, enriching women's lives.
Yeah. So, and I'm just saying because we come from that. So enriching women's lives. That in itself, energetically, whatever the slogan to your company's name is, look at that. Like, look at that. If you're in energetic alignment with it, run with it. If it's something you're like, I don't even, here's another thing with recruiting that just came up, enriching people's lives. And then you're sitting there, a recruiter, going, my life is a mess. Why would I want to enrich somebody's life when my life is a mess? So, and a lot of times we get into business because our life is kind of a mess. So anywhere that you have a point of view or you're stuck in that, it is your responsibility to do anything with them except for invite, take them through the steps that's required within your company, and ask what else is possible from here. Okay.
Right.
So I think we kind of went through some of that. What else is popping up right now? Like, where are you? Because I know we've done obviously a little bit of work. Where is the recruiting space at right now?
It's gone. It's expanded now. It's invite, it's facilitate, it's light. It's not, "Oh, I have to recruit people. I have to add people to my team. I have to.
Okay. So access is all about choice, create something. So choice. I'm just looking at that right now. We talked about this on the Phenomenal Woman this morning, is that choice, no matter what you're choosing, that is the choice. So that choice of choosing nothing is still creating something. So everywhere that you're choosing to do nothing, and you haven't acknowledged that choice to do nothing is actually creating something. And then if you acknowledge that there's something creating from that, would you now, whatever that was, destroy and uncreate everywhere you haven't acknowledged that and what's possible, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, pobads, and beyond. Okay, so what's going on now? Where are you at? What would your steps be now? Like, what's next for your day to add, invite?
In the space of expansion, I'm actually doing a disservice by not sharing or inviting or just presenting, bringing it up, and talking about it.
Okay.
It's a
So
lot
would you,
less heavy.
yeah, would you destroy and uncreate that you're doing something wrong as a disservice, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, pobads, and beyond. That's a point of view that we hear a lot, that you're doing a disservice. So now you're wrong. So why would you recruit if you're wrong and you're doing a disservice? See how confusing that is? So you're not doing anything wrong. You're making a choice. I either choose to share it, I choose not to share it. If I share it, then I share it. I mean, it's just being this space of, there's so much sometimes when it comes to building a team, that it's all about doing it right and doing it wrong. Doing it right, doing it wrong. I have 2 different earrings on. There is no right, there is no wrong. You just suit up, you just show up, and you choose. I was really good at recruiting, and people always, you have a script, sometimes you have all that or adding. And I used to say, just tell people like what you would like. And people, my team and stuff, well, what does that mean? And I would be like, it sounds so simple, speak from your heart. What that meant for me was follow the energy of what you're aware of. And that's what we're talking about. If you get like I'm not sharing the opportunity, I'm selfish, but you're aware that this is somebody you don't want to work with, following your heart, following the energy is actually an awareness that we often push to the side when we're building our team, because we're so busy in what's wrong with us, versus like, you know what, I'm aware that this is a person that I may not choose to work with, and having that space that I can actually do that. It's not like, oh my God, I missed somebody, I should have. It's more of, what will this create if she is added to my team? What can we create together? You know, if I invite her, what will that create? If I don't invite her, what will that create? Or man, whatever. Man, sorry, there's a lot of people who have men businesses as well, and men included. So, okay, cool. All righty. What else is on your list? Anything else, recruiting, non-recruiting, that would, whatever? This is your session.
Too busy to help.
I think we said that in the beginning, truth.
Yeah, I'm not too busy. It's not bad or wrong if I don't share the opportunity or invite them or even talk about it, if I don't feel like they belong on my team or would be.
And look at the energy of that instead of making a conclusion. I know I'm asking you guys to use a lot of energetic tools and awareness, and that's what I teach, and that's what you can learn more of, is that instead of going into conclusion if it's right or wrong, just ask more general questions. What questions have you been asking compared to what you were before, even when it comes to your customers?
I share the opportunity, invite people a lot easier. Before I couldn't even talk to them.
Okay.
I couldn't ask for referrals because I didn't want to bother them with that. They're not going to give them to me. And if they do, they're going to be bogus phone numbers.
Okay. Okay. And okay, most of that has lightened up and changed for you.
Absolutely. Now it's very simple. Just ask.
Okay.
What else is possible?
And I do know that we often hear just ask. And that's what your leader might tell you. Just ask. Just ask. I mean, how many times do we hear that? And it's like, but it's what's underneath the why you can't ask, or why all those points of views and so forth. So it's easy to say just ask, but Karen's now done so much energetic work that all of that is no longer heavy on top of you. So the just ask is now just part of what it is that you do. But before, sometimes it's the work beyond the procedure, if that makes any sense. Like your upline, your leader, your mentor, and all of that, you need to do what they're suggesting. But if it's what they're suggesting is not getting you to the results, it's the energy underneath that. And that's one of the reasons I did choose to leave a very successful business, because I could see everywhere they were sticking themselves with the energy, and that wasn't my job as a director, was to go in there and move that energy for them. So,
and by
okay.
working with you, I have changed my entire world. It's complete
Cool.
expansion. Everything's with ease in
Good.
those areas that we've worked through.
Good. And you keep practicing and being that. So what else? And then I might open it up to some questions. What else was on your list? Anything that's not recruiting?
No, just that working with you has just done wonders in my life. I mean, we walk around with these points of view that we can't do this, we can't do that, or we have to do this, or we have to do that. And it's just a point of view. And when you actually go into the energy of it and work through that, it becomes air as opposed to lead.
It's good. It is good. I like that. It becomes air, it becomes spacious. People will often, excuse me, my mouth, ask me if I do business coaching, if I do life coaching. And most of all, I can't even define what it is that I actually do anyway. But here's the thing, business and life all exist together. And that's why I went into facilitation and coaching more, because we were always working on the business stuff. But it's what's going on over here with Karen. We've worked on a lot. She's worked on, cleared a lot about the this stuff over here, because everything exists anyway. So if you're it's all of it. All of it is all of it. So it's hard to say it's just one or the other. It's just showing up, and here's what I'm looking at, and here's what I'd like to create.
It's all intertwined, and it's all stems.
Yep, there is no space. There is no no definition and separation. It's all happening together. So
in my personal, it's all stemmed back from my childhood, most of it, and the points of views of the parents and everybody else.
Yeah, it does.
It's a whole new world.
And one of the things about energy clearing facilitation with energy is you don't have to go into the feelings of it. It's one of the things I love about energy work, is because if I take you guys to your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions about why it is that you can't or whatever and all of that, we're just going to stick in this sludge, which is where I functioned from a lot. And that's kind of how I coached for a while. Like, get into the thoughts, feelings, emotions. Well, I don't want to go there anymore, because that's heavy. That's where the story's at. That's where your, problem is that you've created, so why it is that you won't choose. So energy, we're just going to go right into that, and we're going to cut it at that, and just not go into all the heaviness of that. So anyway, side note. Okay, babe, nothing else popping? Because I can open it up and answer anybody's questions.
Yeah,
Nothing. Okay,
well, feels good.
cool. Okay, Karen. So that would be like a pretty quick little session of moving all of that. What are you going to do today to put into action to add to your team? Do you have your, these are the things that I do every day to build my business? Do you have that system down too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because that, of course, this is one part, clearing that, and then building a business is the other part of how to institutional, all of the things that need to be done.
And
So
continuously clearing.
yes, you are good at that.
Views keep coming up and crap keeps coming up, and you continuously use the tools and it clears and makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Okay, well, girl, thank you, Karen. And I'll open it up. You can do some free clearing facilitation with me right now. I would love that. So let me see if I can pop this to a gallery again. Hi, everybody. Does anybody have any questions for me? Brooke, Dara, both clients. Edith, Raymond. I'll just sit here.
Well, this was great. Thank you, Karen, for being vulnerable and doing this openly. I think this was really awesome. And, we're so much more similar than we are different in every aspect of it. So something that I wrote down that you had said, Karen, at the beginning, that I don't think that we went through was they don't want it anyway.
Okay.
And so I'm curious about that because guess what? Those are some thoughts that I have from time to time. They don't want to do it anyway, so why even bother?
Okay.
Oh, they're not responding, so apparently they don't want it anyway. Those types of
That's
things.
the one we missed actually on my.
We did.
Round,
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so let's do some work. Brooke, you're up.
See? Well, it was
Yeah,
one Karen's
you brought the energy up. So would you say it that way, or would you word it a different way for your business?
That's a great question. It'd probably be very similar well, I guess they don't want it. Well, I guess, they're not ready is probably the biggest one is that I guess they're not ready.
Okay. So have you decided that for them? Have you made a conclusion?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay, so destroy and uncreate. Where we pull conclusion up is obviously so we don't have to have more awareness. Okay, so it's like, cool. If I don't go there and I'm willing to have more awareness about this, what else can I ask? So what else can you ask around that?
Like what, ask myself or ask of the other person?
Ask yourself, ask me. Like if that energy is sitting in your world right now, they don't want it anyway, or whatever that is. Ask me a question about that. Let's look at your point of view about that. Look at your conclusion.
The only questions coming to my mind is, why wouldn't they want it?
Okay. So everywhere you decided that everybody should have what it is that you have, would you just try and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys, pogads, and beyond. I understand that one. You're like, why doesn't everybody want what I have to offer? I think we all do that, right? Self-employed. So in that particular situation, I just have to go, okay, cool. What is it? And why am I keep pinging at that area? So then what is required? Well, is everybody going to want to work with you for that particular thing? And what can I do to be available to pull in people into my world that are looking for me and what I have to offer. And that's where I go into more energetic pulls with clients, is teaching you how to do that. And Brooke is working on that and being that like space of like, I shared, I don't know, at the beginning, I've been pulling for new people into Growth Junkie Coaching and what I'm doing as I've been expanding and being willing. And in this call, I have 17 new people that I've never worked with before. And so that's been in a poll that I've been doing for a couple of weeks. So, but that also comes with a lot of things. You can pull and ask, but can you actually receive? And in our Phenomenal Woman group and coaching with everybody, we've been looking at the energy of, we may be asking for the universe, for people to come, but we are so not able to receive it. And that's where you've got to go into some more work and clearing that, and finding out where all the places you've judged yourself, which then cuts you off from receiving. I mean, that just blows your world when you start to go. And if you've been around a long time building a business or recruiting, there's a lot of places you judge yourself where things didn't go right, or so every time you judge, it's just like this layer of judgment, cement, soup of energy. And then you're like, why is it not working? Because we've got to clear that and just destroy and uncreate every day what you were with your business yesterday. Destroy and uncreate everything you were with money and projections. I mean, I do that every day. It takes like 3 minutes, but clearing everything that I had those limitations with. I don't even know what they are. I don't even care. But who am I today? And what questions can I start with there today? And how much more seen can I be? In the Phenomenal Woman today, our little quote was today, we're doing a little challenge. And it was like, describe, your comfort zones, like here, right? And then magic, mysteries, miracles, and possibilities, like this big, huge circle over here. But most of us are functioning over here. So what would it be like with everything right now, just to expand energetically? You don't even need to understand what that is, but expand out so that you just expand. And so I don't know, there's more work to that, but just being that out of that comfort zone of constriction. And that's one of the classes I teach, a course. It's called Expansion Accelerator. And we just finished it, of just taking everything in your world and expanding it. So, okay, I just went off on a tangent. Sorry. Did I even answer your question, Brooke? We talked about.
Yeah, it definitely comes to like those past experiences of self-judgment.
Okay.
Very much so. I mean, a little bit of my history, lots of judgment there, lots of, I'm not doing it right. What's wrong with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
It's how this reality functions. And, I've talked about that. I've said I have the largest crown possible for judgment. It's very small nowadays because even I can wear 2 different earrings and I can show up and do nothing, do it wrong, do it bad anyway, but that judgment was how. And when we do judgment, the funny thing is what we're doing is when we judge ourselves as wrong, we also create from that space. It's fascinating what we do. So a lot of times it's like I would judge the crap. It's just, and most of it, you don't even know anybody's judging themselves. But inside, you're doing this major judgment. So you're judging like, okay, I'm judging how wrong this was. So now I'm going to create from that place. And then you only create a little bit bigger than that. And then you judge yourself versus destroying and uncreating, working through all that judgment energy. And that's how this world functions, is like functioning from judgment versus judging from asking questions that will create something. So cool. Anybody else? Did I finish you, Brooke? Are you done? Cool beans. Anybody? Okay. Dara, any questions? There we go.
I didn't know that helping was ego, but I loved all that. I appreciate that, Karen. Thank you for, being vulnerable, open, and curious about that.
Absolutely.
it was interesting how to, like, what other word can we choose? And I wrote down empower, inspire, invite. The first word I thought of was offer. But then I looked up so I'm over here looking up words while y'all are talking, and I'm looking at all these different words that I just am now realizing are heavy to me. And what would be a different word choice that's lighter, that feels more in alignment energetically with who I be. And so, yeah, so we use a word commitment. We have these 3 commitments, and that has been heavy for me since the time it rolled out in our organization. And so I looked up some other options, and there's the word agreement, because commitment feels extremely heavy to me. But agreement is 2 people, and it says harmony of accordance in opinion or feeling, a position or result of agreeing. Whereas a commitment is an agreement or pledge to do something in the future, or it's an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. That is what commitment is.
Right. So everything
obligation that restricts freedom of action.
To me, like you want to build your team, and someone says to make a commitment, which you destroy and uncreate, like giving your life over. And everywhere that you have done that in the past, would you revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, destroy, and uncreate all of your oaths, vows, commitments, realities, promises, and everything else I'm not including, that you have done that. And heaven forbid, you're never going to do it again. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 sorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. Now, again, it's just becoming aware of what that is. Agreement. I want to look at that word with you.
Well, agreement is so light and so easy.
Okay.
It's commitment that it has held me back. Brooke can attest to that.
Cool. So you cleared that for you. And here's the thing with clearing words, clearing things. It's not that you can't ever use it again. You just now have consciousness of the word. And what it's creating. So you can use a word again, but it's like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I have this something you can get it free. It's 5 words to eliminate from your vocabulary. And it's a beautiful guide I put together, and it gives you words. But agreement. I am kind of like wondering what that word, if it's light for you, that will create. Let me ask you, what does agreement mean for you energetically, not what you looked up? If you were to come into an agreement with a potential somebody, what is that energy you're being with an agreement?
That we match, that we agree on where they are and where I am, and what they're willing to do and what I'm willing to do, and that's an agreement. Whereas a commitment seems super heavy, and then they're gonna, now energetically, I understand not to make myself wrong, but I could unconsciously make them wrong, and then energetically there's a disconnect, because then they feel bad and they've judged themselves and they're wrong because they didn't keep their commitments.
Correct.
So there's this layer of stuff. Whereas if I ask them for, hey, these are 3 agreements that we love to make just between, like, you for yourself and me as your coach, and how can, where do you find yourself in these agreements? Because one is to self, one is to me, and one is to, like, self-awareness in the community. So commitment has always felt extremely heavy, and I've wrestled and wrestled and wrestled, and I've honestly half-assed it.
Okay.
And I've made myself wrong about it for all these months, because I'm not doing structure.
Right. Okay. I do want it before we wrap it up, but
Sorry.
The word, no, but I don't want to let the energy of agreement go without you also taking another energetic view at it.
Okay.
Because when I asked you what the energy of agreement was for you, you had a shitload of projections and expectations. You're like, meet me here, match me here. Are you willing? So it was all this energy, and everything you're doing is from a place of how do you pock and pot, all of that, just right and wrong, good and bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys, pobads, and beyond. Your points of view that they have to match you and be in agreement with you limits them from what's possible.
Right. That's how I felt about the commitments.
And I'm saying agreement is more expansive, but it might also be another word that we'll look at again now that you've opened up again.
Okay.
But how much conclusion you still have on if they don't make these agreements, they can't receive, versus a word you may want to put in there again is choice. Are you willing to choose this? And if you choose this with me, these are the results we might be able to get if you're willing to choose this, because an agreement, it's heavy for me.
Got it.
Okay, we'll play more with that and so forth, because now it's like, okay, lighter, lighter, lighter. And it's always going to come down to what are they willing to choose?
Okay.
And then if they're not willing to choose anything, then celebrate not being willing to choose anything, because that choice is the choice. And that's most where people stop themselves from recruiting, is because they just stop. But like, let's just acknowledge that you're not recruiting right now. And then we can move from there. Okay. And your upline may not know quite what to do with that, because it's acknowledging what you're actually not supposed to be doing. And I want to acknowledge what you are doing so that we can create something greater. Okay. Cool. Dara, was that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's interesting that I didn't even look at the energy of that, and it's been sticking me 4 months.
Glad you joined the call to unstick you.
Yeah. Thanks, Karen.
That's why groups, some people don't, they always want to work one-on-one. I love that too. But groups, man, the amount that can be moved in a group in an hour is phenomenal, because you're all popping off of each other. So I love that too, but it's all available. So I will wrap up here. I will send you guys the recording. Of course, there will be a link. If there's any place you want to work with me further, I'm available, and you can work with me in a lot of different ways: groups, individuals, membership, even book a free call with me, and we can kind of take a look and peek into what's going on in your world. I'm totally available. No form, no structure over here. Okay. You guys done? Anybody else want a question, or we'll hang up if we don't? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you,
And you're
Raymond.
welcome,
For being on
Dara.
the call too, with all the female